When you're sitting in the woods, when I'm sitting in the woods, which is now, the sound of my voice brings up all my self-conscious. Self. Who are we? Who am I? Why do I feel the need to communicate to my fellow human beings, and to what purpose might that serve? Could I hope that it could serve positive purposes? Do we chart a course? Do we have the power to move the steering wheel of the human ship a couple of degrees? Seems like we do, actually. Though it's mysterious as to how that comes about. I'm not sure it comes out of the mind of any particularly insightful thinker. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I'm going to try to just step in to the fray of civilization. I can hear voices. Somebody down on a trail. Maybe it's somebody like me delivering a speech, but probably not. Probably someone just happily engaging in conversation. Happily engaging in conversation. Did you hear the ducks as they flew past? Engaging in their own conversation. I probably should not labor this much attempt at trying to explain the circumstances of our world. I guess the number one thing I would say is that we don't have to, but we have to recognize that everything is fluid. It's movement. We influence each other. We affect each other. We affect nature. We're busy creating our own world. It's pretty mysterious. Maybe it's not so complicated. it seems we've just created a very fragile form of civilization that doesn't quite know where it's going. And like children, we're all enamored of everything new, every new little trinket, every new little power tool, every new advance that we get. I was thinking of the Native Americans who sold off Manhattan Island for the trinkets, wondering if their trinkets were any, that they sold this beautiful piece of property, or any better or worse than the trinkets that we sell off our world to. I think we can do it. I think us humans can do it. I think we can adjust. I think the younger generation is trying to understand what they've inherited from us, trying to look at our mistakes. I'm concerned because there's a sort of a simplistic wash on everything now that the dominant global civilization wants to put on the part of humanity that they don't understand, or believe that some people are some people's opinions are not worthy of being listened to. Some people aren't hip, I suppose you might say. I think it's I think we're missing the boat if there's somebody who thinks that that what we believe to be the, and I'll use the term progressive vision, if we believe that the progressive vision is something and has something that the other vision doesn't have, I think we're in trouble. Because the progressive vision, if it's true vision, if it would be progressive, would be a willingness to look into everything in the moment, withhold all judgments, and listen to understand. In 50 years of my life, which I'm well over 50, but 50 years goes back to a time when I was young, and learning a lot of things, as many of us were of my generation at that time, about nature and the course of environmental destruction and humanity's potential for ignorance was pretty well clearly evident in 1970, as it is today. What was different in 50 years ago is the amount of people on the planet, to a large extent, and the gifts of technology that were only dreamt about 50 years ago that now are being realized. I can't go on too much longer because I'm quite tired today, and that's often been the case. If I owe anybody apologies for that, that's, wish I could do better on any day. It's one of those days where I needed to take a long walk, and I'm way out in the trail, somewhere in the woods, right now. And there are things wrong, or there are things I'm going to say wrong, maybe it's right, but there are things that are out of balance that we have to find a way to sustain and grow our roots again, and decide what we really are as a civilization, what we can achieve, and what level how do we work within nature without creating giant holes on the planet in faraway places that you might not worry about when you buy your trinkets or toys. Holes in the earth in the Congo, or holes in the earth in China, holes in the earth in the Amazon. What is the purpose? What do we gain? What is the destruction? Do we know what's going on with the humanity who's working in these holes? We're all kind of in a hole. But we're all striving to get out, and we're all human, and we're all connected. We really are. I think that's the saving grace of it all. And even in our maximum separation, we know it's not true. Just our breath, the earth, rain, the air we breathe, the trees that surround us, all across the planet, all the forms of life, plant life, insect life, the wild animals, where they can still survive, safe from humanity, us, and our constant expansion. So anyways, I think we're coming to a point where humanity's constant expansion is going to come to an end. And it's a different kind of expansion. Not physical, not taking pieces of the earth to develop anymore. But creating something much freer, much more joyful, sounds good. You can do it. Nobody can do it alone, though. Anything's possible when people share the same vision or somehow fire themselves up over a message that connects us all. Not a message that divides us, a message that connects us. We've become very overpopulated. There's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. Things aren't exactly what they used to be. So anybody who's expressing stress or anxiety, it's understandable. It's very difficult world to, quote, adjust to. Lost in many ways. So that'd be my message to anybody listening in. When you judge someone, maybe someone you think acts deplorably. The word deplorable, you probably know what I'm thinking about. Understand. Look at someone's fears. How do we take care of a planet? What is our responsibility? Think things are working out. Think human beings have the answer inside themselves. And the goodness, maybe some people call it the Buddha nature, internally is there. Takes a lot more, what do they say? A lot more muscles to frown. Forgive me if I seem like I'm frowning. I'm an old guy. Maybe I haven't. Fulfill my own happiness zone. Anyways, I'm going to sign off. I've probably gone too far, and I probably will not find the courage to share this. I'm not sure. It's the spine, someone said. You're spineless, guy. Spineless for thinking that a thug like Trump might have some element of the truth that he's working with. I think he does. I wish him and the world well. I think those people who feel that they have greater gifts of education or scholarship or raised in the right manner, not raised in the world of billionaires or raised in the world of criminals or all the other worlds that people can be raised in, have an extra responsibility to look upon everybody. Unafraid. A lot of suffering and hurt in this world. How do we attempt to take the pressure off? Lighten things up. Long walk. I'm too serious. Not exactly hugging the tree, but very grateful. Sitting on it, thanking it. Thank you. Talk later.